So, good evening, everyone, and welcome to this another episode of MindSpace with Dr. Aseem Parekh. I'm just going to introduce the session before we begin, and we'll talk about teachers and seekers on the occasion of Guru Purnima this year. And I have with me Dr. Aseem Parekh. He is honorary professor of orthopedics at BYL Nair Hospital, Mumbai, ex-head of department at Nair Hospital, and my guru in orthopedics and in life in many, many aspects. I've spent a lot of time with him. I've seen him for a period of years. He has seen me. I've observed him in many avatars that many people know about. I know him also as a person, as a teacher, as a guide, as somebody to whom you can go for suggestions. So he comes in variety of avatars, as you can see, a smile and a frown, both equally effective. And this is a word that he says quite often: genius alone lives. I think he refers to, in some aspect, the guru within all of us. That is a genius that lives within all of us. So today, when we start the session on Guru Purnima, on teachers and seekers, yesterday we all received a lot of messages on WhatsApp, a lot of videos, etc., about who is a guru, and a lot of people talking about guru as a person, guru as a institute, guru as even some few people called Google as a guru or Wikipedia as a guru. So, sir, let me pose the first question to you. Who is a guru?
Paraspar Devo Bhava. I am as much your guru as you are mine. Who is the guru? The definition of guru is the one who takes from darkness to light. So the transition from the darkness of ignorance, the transition from what is unseen and what is unknown, the transition to that lifting of the veil which shows the seeker what indeed is possible if they were to put their mind to it, is the guru. The guru is one who shows the light. The guru is one who illuminates the path. The guru is the one who accepts the shishya for what the shishya is, and taking that clay molds according to the particular talents and the particular abilities to make the shishya, the seeker, the best possible version of himself or herself. So the guru, when you ask who is the guru, everyone is a guru. Anyone who dispels your ignorance, anyone who makes it possible for you to learn something you did not know, anyone who makes it possible for you to realize yourself, the gravity of what it is that you are able to do, anyone who shines the light on you and on the path in a way which will instill confidence, and a person who is able to inspire the total trust and unquestioning and unswerving loyalty is who the guru is. So, when I say Paraspar Devo Bhava, I greet you and I greet the divinity within. And when you greet me back, you are acknowledging the divinity within. It is the central tenet of any religious practice is to accept if one is religious or if one is philosopher. If one is religious, to accept godliness as a dogma, fair enough. If you are more philosophical, to explore the religion, at the end of it, the distillate is only one, that is to become one with God. Pick your religion, look up its central tenet. It is to submit to God's will and ultimately become one with God. Paths are different. They are made for different people, geographically different countries, where what is available locally and what has been the culture certain things. So, who is a guru? Anyone who dispels your ignorance is a guru.
Thank you, sir. That looks like very, very comprehensive or very, very broad answer to the question. I mean, in that sense, is the pupil that makes the guru? So if I
So,
learn from
when you
you,
say that is very comprehensive and at the same time it is very broad, it can be one or the other.
yes,
So let us select our words with care.
right.
I have always been teaching my students, as I have no doubt taught you, what is a good definition? What makes for a good definition? A good definition is one which conveys the exact meaning in the minimum number of words. So verbosity is not an element of a deft definition. Minimum number of words. So what we spoke about perhaps was comprehensive. Perhaps what we spoke about at times tended to explore the far corners of where the sun's brilliance shines. Yet, the definition of a guru remains he, she, it who dispels your ignorance. You see a giant building for the first time, you start imagining things which you had never realized could even exist. When I went to New York and I saw all the bridges across the East River, the Manhattan Bridge, the Brooklyn Bridge, the Queensboro Bridge, I believe is called the Edward Cobb Bridge, and the George Washington Bridge across the Hudson. Huge, massive edifices. And I was thinking, my God, they built these 70 years ago, and this is what man's hands can do. This is what an intellect can create. This is what intelligence can transmit. And this truly is creation. And the same thing, go into a tunnel, take the train next time you go to Pune, don't take the expressway. Take the train. And when you go into that dark, gloomy, the first tunnel, Kamchat, I believe, would be the first tunnel. And everything is dark outside. And you come out, barreling the train, barrels out on the ghats, and there. Those tunnels were cut by hand. Those tunnels were cut by hand. That is engineering. And what do? Think enlightenment there. You create tunnels when you are doing an ACL reconstruction. Where does light at the end of the tunnel, where does the saying come from? It is a fact. Closed tunnel, at the end of it, there will be light, provided the sun is shining. Night, there will be no. Night, ignorance, bigotry, racism, chauvinism, prejudice, all of this and more. All these are forms of ignorance. When I say they are forms of ignorance, all of these prevent the individual from realizing the truth of what is actually going around. Because one is always seeing through. So back to question one, guru is he, she, or it which dispels ignorance. Whether you require that immediately or you need to learn that as an experience in life so you can experience the rest of your life that much immediately and get so much more of the rust out of it rather than skim along the surface, scratch the surface without really getting to the signal. So, Guru, in the context of Guru Purnima, would be an individual. Guru, go back over the years. We have learned so much from the animals. We have learned so much from animal experiments in the last 50, 70 years. Now, PETA, SPCA will not permit, for whatever reasons. We have learned from animals. See, when man was growling and monkeys were also making noise, we saw them and we learned. When we learn, we now know what we did not know. So where there was ignorance, now there is the bliss of knowledge. One thing about the Guru is the Guru does not transmit information. Anybody can transmit. You said in opening, some people acknowledged Google Baba and Wiki Baba. Certainly, very good for information. The Guru transmits, makes it possible, transmits and facilitates what is required for the seeker to gain knowledge. Which is why we say when they're teachers and they're seekers, you'll find so many teachers. Where are the students? We perhaps will come to this a little later. Guru is not obligated to do Gurugiri. He's not obligated. He does it if he wishes, if she wishes to. I'll stick to he for the time. If he wishes to. The student does not have a right to be taught. The student, once the Guru accepts him, has a right to learn from him by observing the Guru, by listening as opposed to hearing, not by mere scanning, by, in our context, it is by becoming an apprentice. For between the Guru and the Shishya, in the purity of the relationship, so much passes without words being said. Again, in our context, see medicine, see law, see architecture. These are all in part creative arts, but there will be one Guru, one teacher, one mentor who will, I think I'm transgressing, but anyway, I'll have to straddle a few borders. Who will be just apt. And that pupil will be just apt for the Guru. Which is why Gurus are human. They are favorites. They always have this very good student. See, if one is going to be a Guru and gave for 5, 6, 7 decades of life, the Guru will not play favorites. The Guru will not show favoritism. But please remember, whoever you acknowledge as your Guru is a human being, same as you. I take you back to my opening greeting to you and the Namaskar. Without respect between the Guru and the Shishya, there can be no transmission, facilitation, learning, acquisition of knowledge, later on experience, put the two together, and that becomes manifest ability. We have good, we have superior, we have very superior, and we have the best. Comparing, drawing tables, calculating percentages. It is a way of study and documentation for us. One moment, I'm distracted slightly. Can somebody shut that dog up, please? Yes, sorry about that. The Guru shows, the Guru demonstrates. The Guru makes it possible for the Shishya or the seeker to determine what is possible. Then there will be fear. The moment a seeker realizes what he is capable of, one of the first emotions he will feel is fear, paralyzing fear, because the Guru has demonstrated. And this is going to change his life. It is going to rip him out of his comfort zone and throw him into the deep end. Guru will have the back of the Shishya, but the fear is paralyzed. At that moment, what the Guru does is provide separate safety net and caution the Shishya. This safety net, you know it is there, so it is for your peace of mind. Because if you are afraid, there will be different hormones surging through your body. I want you to be of calm mind. I am there. Tuja Patishi mi aahe. It is so commonly put up in so many places in all our hospitals. Bhiu nakos, Tuja Patishi aahe. And they have Shri Swami Samarth. So then there will be gurus. Since I'm speaking about Swami Samarth, nobody has seen them in our generation. Yet people, it is not worship. See, the term for guru is not worship. It is veneration. See, worship is to a certain extent blind and it is a mass act. Veneration, both could be done in same temple, church, mosque, gurdwara. But what comes into veneration, the respect at some stage merges with an adoration. And with respect and love, the Guru makes all things possible. So how is love to be demonstrated? Gentle acknowledgement from time to time. Firmness, upbraiding the Shishya for mistakes with the harshness which may be required from them. Because the Guru is molding clay over. He does not make the clay. The Guru is showing his humanity by letting himself go in temper or letting himself go in affection. You have done very nice. This case is so nicely done. Now don't mess up the next one, please. So these little things, not paeans of praise, that is for the Shishya to write to the Guru. Lamba lamba likhta hai. Yesterday we saw in Guru Bachchan. That is all. And for the Shishya, alertness is all important. Because every small gesture of the Guru, every change in facial expression of the Guru. The best Gurus do not have poker faces. They are very expressive. Some change in the eye, a twinkle comes, or the upper lid moves, slight movement of the head and away. The Shishya has to pick up on all this. And when the Shishya picks up on all this will endear the Shishya Guru, because less and less formal impartation. It becomes a natural process. So this is like doing an incoming, and now you are here, and now, my dear child, we have a limited time. At some stage, having learned what you came to learn from me, and I will tell you, I have nothing more to offer you. If the illumination your intellect requires is beyond my ability, I will refer you to someone else. So, not necessarily one Guru. So many people are bhakts of Shri Sai Baba, of Shirdi. Who has seen Baba? Some people say the photograph is that. So, it is more of this kind of, it is a veneration. Veneration, before it can be combined with adoration, in the fear, either the seeker's path gets aborted on the way, or the seeker starts guru shopping. Guru shopping. We see all these things. All the gurus, Ashok, somehow they look the same to me. on this internet. All have dadi, all have cloak, and they have a bit of a brusque manner, and all the time they must know something above and beyond what the Shishya knows of the questioner. It is not necessary. That is the humility of the Guru. Moving it away from teachers, because teaching now is one more profession for the most part. It is no longer a vocation for the most part. So, acknowledging that I don't know everything makes it possible for me to continue to grow. So, as my Shishya grows, as the seeker grows, so will the teacher, so will the Guru grow. Guru's life is not over the day he wears the mantle of the Guru's life starts, because that is the vocation. So being a student is over, centralizing yourself is over. You wish to become a householder, that part. And because in our culture, definitely, there's a Guru, there was the Guru Mai, there were the children, and everybody else was a Guru Bandhu. So that added to closeness. There is very little we can speak about family values now or family connections now, even in a nuclear family. I refer you to the mobile phone. And about extended families, which some of us have had the good fortune to experience. Everything will have certain parts which are not entirely comfortable or could be done with. But the good has always far outweighed the bad in my experience. So, grandfather is the Guru for certain things, father is the Guru. The greatest Guru of all is mother. And today, my daughter can be a very good Guru to me. She does art direction. But I have set up this pile of books and this phone by myself. Even in a nuclear family, she's at home, she's busy with her work. So she could be my Guru. She's choosing not to be, which again takes us back years and years to the parampara. Shishya never got to choose the Guru chose. In the current context, it is like 50 people go for an interview, 2 people are selected. But we are talking for seeker. I'm telling you now in the context of the way we have jobs which are advertised and which people go interview for and attempt to convince that we are the best for this slot, etc. What does the seeker want? If I as a Guru cannot provide it to him in the most optimal way, I am a liar and a cheat if I accept that pupil, that shishya, that seeker. What do I accept? In the parampara, what is it? So he could pull my water and for my bath, or fill my handas so I could drink water, or that he would press my legs at the end of the day, or that he would go to the village and buy the groceries, whatever it is today. Go to the culture of the classes. They'll take anybody who can pay the fees. They're teachers, they're professional teachers, they are not gurus. This is not vocation. So the Guru will recognize the vastly superior seeker and not necessarily take it. The reasons, again, the Guru is human, the Guru is fallible. In all honesty, it is best that it is fitting that he does not accept that Shishya. However, the Shishya might feel at that time. Later on, Shishya will realize when his ordained Guru selects him and takes him to the. And then he looks back and sees the Shishyas of the Guru he first approached and the Guru who is now his. And for the seeker, there will be one point in time when, I mentioned this earlier, the Guru needs to make it very clear that I have nothing more to offer you. This much more is possible for you. We were speaking about consolidation a few minutes before we started here. So that is the time for the supreme honesty. The supreme honesty is the one in which you do not lie to yourself. Because most of us accept that God already knows everything about us. Most of us accept. Those of us who don't accept. It is immaterial. But supreme honesty to oneself, God or no God, is not lying to yourself, not cheating yourself. Because if you lie to yourself and if you cheat to yourself, no matter who your guru is, how accomplished your guru is, you will never achieve your full potential. So if you land up with a guru who is of that nature, do not hesitate to rid yourself of them. And your guru will find you. He will beckon you. That is why your life should be lived in a state of alertness. Otherwise, you will miss that one signal. You will be looking for a certain form, a certain design, a certain shape, a certain manner. Very well. These are all prejudices. The first thing your guru will do is dispel all. How much different you feel when you are in your guru's presence? How much different do you feel charged when you leave your guru? Do you feel energized when you leave your guru? When you leave your guru means when you've been with your guru in a space and now you're leaving that space. Do you feel enthused? An interesting asset. Enthused comes from enthusiasm. The meaning of the word enthusiasm is filled with God. Filled with God is enthusiasm, enthused, enthusiasm. So if you come away filled with God, by common consent, you can do no harm. And then consolidate. Assess what possibilities are today, what you still have within you to exercise yourself and make those possibilities realities, and do not lie. Because the moment you lie, there is distrust. And a few minutes ago, I told you whether it is between the guru and the seeker, or whether it is between the seeker and the seeker's self, or the guru and the guru's self. The moment there is a distrust, complete, total trust, unswerving loyalty are the prerequisites for an optimal guru-shishya relationship. Here, let me clarify. If the guru-shishya relationship is not optimal, it is not a relationship. All relationships, unless they are optimal, they are not worth the REL. They are not worth that. When I say not worth that, for increasing your experience, it will be required for you to go through this. Because only then will you learn. We keep on talking in the conference, the hackneyed experience comes from bad results and something comes from good results. And so it's all there. It's all part of life. And the heights of the crests and the depths of the troughs will depend on how much energy you put into it, what your ability is, how passionate you are, how much energy you bring to it, how committed you are. Now, this is for the guru to awaken in the shishya. Having been awakened, to wait till he's steady on his pins, he gets his balance, and then fateh karo, send him out into the world. With the proviso, if you ever get that kind of stuck, remember that safety net I provided the first time you were scared, that still exists. As long as I am alive, you can always come back. That also, you can always come back to me, is a statement which can only be felt, not understanding, when there is a total trust between the two individuals, where this interaction is taking place. Transaction is the cheap word for it, where this interaction or intercourse is taking place. Yes, Ashok.
Right, sir. So we have discussed a lot of characteristics of a guru, especially on the background on how the word guru has been used, misused, and abused all over the place. You have listed a lot of characteristics. I just want you to again list them in order of how a pupil can identify a true guru.
No, Ashok, you haven't been listening.
Now, I know the guru
Pupil does
chooses
not
the
have to
pupil.
identify the guru.
No,
The
I
guru
got
will
it. I get
identify.
that.
We are talking super big time here. We are talking extra large big time. With the Shishyas, never even imagined. With this Shishya's understanding, how is the Shishya going to identify the Guru? Guru, dear Ashok, Shishya will get the best Guru for the Shishya. Isn't that your experience? Let's get little personal. There's
Yeah,
nothing personal in the world. There are no
right,
secrets in life, except what
right,
you want to keep personal. It's all out there in the open.
right.
Somehow, the person to guide you, you'll find that this is exactly what I require. And there, your potential is unleashed and talent is exercised. And see, whatever you legitimately wanted with hard work is yours. Now, when I say legitimately wanted, what is it? You say, I legitimately want this. It's not the legal part of it. The legitimacy of wanting something and going out and getting it is without harming anyone. Like primum non nocere is our primum dictum. So without harming anybody. So in the Hindi, in the vernacular, किसी के पेट पे पैर मत रखो, don't hit a man when he's down. No, all that is okay. Don't dish somebody's chances. At the same time, see, somebody is a warrior. He's trained to be a general. Okay. Now that person has to slay a few people in the course of what he is legitimately supposed to do. The legitimate function of the chief of army staff or the chief of defense staff is to ensure that nobody messes around with our country. So in that process, if he's got to do some things, some nasty things to some people, that is his legitimate job. And you can't have a legitimate Field Marshal Sam Manekshaw and do legitimate things in that particular context if you want to liberate Bangladesh. He was trained to do that, and he did it when he was asked. So your legitimate goals are those which have been set out by you within the world of laws of men and laws of God. Because the laws of God, when you are in the world, you don't have to be off. Laws of God, law of God, there's only one. Do no harm. Do no harm. But in the laws of men, if it is your job to fight, to protect, even invade, morality has no place in the world. It has no place in the world. People make their own morality. Rest of it, karma will teach them. But that is a different discussion, perhaps. So, to legitimately do is to succeed in your what you have predetermined as your endeavor in life. Having received the best possible training at the hands of the guru who is optimal for you. Because all these are the matters of definition. Yeah? So to list out what the pupil should look for, this would be anathema to a lot of the people listening, I'm sure. If I said the same thing in third MBBS at the Nair, then they would the guy's lost it, get rid of it. Because the social construct has changed irreversibly. See, we are so fortunate. Ashok, you and I, and many of us today who are orthopedic surgeons together, in the fraternity, sorority, or whatever you wish to call it, is we still have the opportunity to identify who we want to be with. We are still able to be with them. We are still able to help each other grow. People sent me messages yesterday. I sent this message to everybody. It included one line. So together we have grown. And for some people, so together we continue to grow. Because how long does the guru remain relevant? The guru remains relevant till such time, this is a very harsh reality. The guru remains relevant till such time as he is able to provide information. Then the guru goes for his own 1%. To hang on to office like a prime minister, like Mr. Johnson or any cabinet minister, they just not like to let go. Why am I bringing politics into it? Because the fraternity dash slash sorority is becoming so politicized. There is no place for minimum place for academics, and when there's a minimum place for academics, there is no place for the guru-shishya parampara. You in the late 90s, early 20s, you chaps, when we trained, before that when we were at the KEM, Ashok, it is not possible for me. Kulla, it is not possible for me to create that same atmosphere today. It's not a matter of holding a position. To create the same space today to see my flowers bloom now. It is not possible. Why? Socio-cultural change. Socio-cultural change. Even when I was in charge of the department 11 months ago, no, it had started changing. There is a paradigm shift. There is a Copernican shift. Copernican shift. How will the pupil find the guru? Is this runt first MBBS fellow? He walks up to me in the corridor and says, "Aren't you Aseem, the chap who addressed us on day one?" I said, "Yes." "Who are you?" "I've just been admitted to first." "Very good. Have a great life, bud." So it is this pupil has first to learn humility, respect, and basic behavior. Basic behavior. Like Dheer Saab, Dr. R.S. Dheer used to tell us, he had trained in the US for some time. He said he had a huge culture shock. He said nobody gets up when the boss comes in. The boss aaya to bolta hai, John. So it was unthinkable. But then that's a cultural thing. Now, all that which is going to affect us negatively, we have imported without having the right to bear arms. So you don't have a gun, Fourth Amendment, or whichever amendment, you cannot say I'll have all the others and be denied one, because life works when there is everything. Life doesn't work when one picks and chooses in isolation. Those are crumbs. What the guru would look for in a potential shishya is a much more interesting topic. We've been at it for 40 minutes. Perhaps, let's see, you will get some feedback on this. If it is, then there is interest. We'll speak on that, because there are so many people, I'm sure, who will be watching or will watch this, who have to develop themselves as guru. See, guru, you can be firing on 6 cylinders or you can be firing on 2. As a guru, you can be tapping all your potential and giving everything possible to your shishya. It is said, Ram naam ki loot hai, loot sake to loot. You have the guts, sit out there, say, suck me dry. I will be replenished. This is what God put me on. So, how do I select the shishya? Who will be able to get every last, I don't know, whatever the smallest unit of measure is, which is of value from me? That is what I'm here for, to the seeker. But these so-called seekers, these students, they have no sense of proportion. So without a sense of proportion, there can be no balance. And when there is no balance, one is asking to follow. The guru will pick up the shishya. It is part of the guru. Dust him off and set him on a way with this happens. You want to stay on the path, sometimes you will stumble. but not the kind of imbalance which is always imbalance. And mollycoddling is required, and guidance is required, and psychotherapy is required. No. I cannot be a teacher of orthopedic surgery in the current environment. This being recorded, everything. No, I cannot be. I still am in terms of university and NMC requirements, but otherwise, the teaching of orthopedics to postgraduates and undergraduates, something which I did for decades, it is not possible. And as a guru, the one, whenever I do something, whatever, I do it on my own terms. I don't. Because otherwise, it's a waste of my time, or it is a compromise. The moment it's a compromise, I have nixed myself. I have, in some way, diminished myself. I am not going to diminish myself. I am not going to diminish myself. I am not going to lie to myself. I am not going to cheat to myself, because I have a higher power to answer to. See, if I do all this, then I won't even teach line drawing in kindergarten. Because I have to. And this has to be transparent. Kids are now smarter than they were at entry level. Then water finds its own level is very, very, very old law of physics. But even then, entitlement without earning it is one of the root ills and the source of most of the problems which we are currently facing, and it can only get worse in the vocation of teaching. Profession of teaching, Malhi Malhi. There's one behind Saifi Hospital, one in Brahmadevi, and God knows how many. Nothing against them. As a guru, I have to observe, and till such time as I become irrelevant, I will be the first person. When I become, I have anti. And when I do, with grace I shall. Why did I continue it? Because I was in good conscience, and I am in good conscience today. Perfectly capable, able, wanting, desirous, and I want that growth. I still have something to contribute. The day I don't, no more that, no more anything. There's so much to do in life. There's so much to do in life. Younger people among you, don't cultivate a hobby because everyone cultivates a hobby. Don't cultivate a hobby because it is an insurance for something you do once you retire. Don't do any of that. Enjoy your orthopedics, enjoy your life, enjoy whatever it is you are doing. Start. How many of our friends here do calligraphy? I've started doing calligraphy in the last 3 months. 3 months before that, I was learning Persian. I cannot limit myself. When the urge takes me, I let go. I write a lot. Ashok, you know it. So the urge takes me, I just stop whatever I'm doing and I let fly. And no revision, no nothing. It's typed into the phone. I don't use computer. And it goes from there. So if you wish to see, ladies and gentlemen, see right at once. You got that 2 ways. If you wish to see, don't miss the wood for the trees. See right at once. This is what is there. Complete, immediate experience. Otherwise, see right at once. See what is correct, see what is accurate. See it immediately, see it for what it is, see right at once, and see right, comma, at once is no judgments, no nothing. The truth of this milk is either cold or hot. It could be lukewarm, but let's take milk which is cold or hot. Lukewarm is the middle of the road. People who are in the middle of the road usually get run over by a bus. This is what Dr. Ellen Vora taught. So it is possible. These are some of the things, Ashok. Anything else you would like to ask, please?
Yeah, so like you said, a guru and a pupil, they share a very, very special relationship. And along with teachings and relationship, there comes a responsibility element. So my question is, to what extent a guru is responsible for execution of the teachings by his people? I'll give you an example from Mahabharata. The guru of Kaurava and Pandava is same. The execution of his teaching is very different. To what extent is the guru responsible for those executions? Yes.
The guru
Is
does not.
responsible for the execution of his teachings by his pupil. So, like in Mahabharata, we have two different groups that executed the teachings of the same guru in a very different manner.
When you ask the question, ask yourself, what is responsibility? Responsibility is being faithful, being honest, and discharging one's duty as one sees it fit. You used a lot of adjectives for the guru-shishya bond. The bond is an intimate one. The bond is an intimate one. Now, in that bond of intimacy, I just said it. Ram Nam ki loot hai, loot sake to loot. You have taken everything from me. I don't want anything in return. As my shishya, the day you really get what this means is, I am a guru. I did this for my selfish reason. Otherwise, I cannot eat, breathe, live. I cannot do anything. I am a guru because I am a guru. And I have to manifest this. So
So
I
does that,
need you
so,
as Paraspara Devo Bhava equally. This is intimacy and the ultimate symbiosis. The same guru teaches different people. The guru is not moralistic. The guru says, take this and fateh karo. Now, the rest is a matter of interpretation. The Mahabharata, more than anything else, once it comes to the Kurukshetra war, it is all about propriety and impropriety. The whole Granth is about it, but the war is entirely about whether it almost never happened. Yet it happened. Because even after the Lord went back from Hastinapur, and he tells Duryodhana, मैत्री की राह तो दे न सका, आशीष समाज की ले न सका, याचना नहीं अब रण होगा, अंतिम फैसला सुनाता हूं, मैं यहां से जाता हूं, याचना नहीं अब रण होगा, जैसे कभी न हुआ वैसे होगा. And after this, when the armies are massed against each other, even then, when Arjun lays down his weapons and says, no Sarthi, tell me, till that point, the supremely gifted Shishya, who was a favorite Shishya, somebody else's thumb had to cut off because of that Shishya. This was the imbalance in the mind of Arjun. Krishna having given a Bhavishyavani, saying, Yachana nahi ab ran hoga, jaise pehle nahi vaisa hoga. But still, that time Parthasarthi is Parth's guru. So he shows him, this is still there. And he brings it to the point where then Arjun raises it. But his guru was next to him in the same space. So Guru and Krishna, greatest politician of all time. Of all time. He was able to wear whichever hat was required to suit that. In that way, he was the supreme. The Lord Krishna, the supreme guru, to read from the volume. So the execution of the teachings, no. I have said it before, I'll say it again. You know it well. It was during your YROC that Legends and Legacies update up to 57 years was published. Why? You today have anointed me a living vision. Thank you very much. Where is my legacy? I have said this before, perhaps on this same platform, I say it again. Ashok, every day that I go to Nair, or every day I go to a BOS function, or I go to any hospital, and most hospitals, I see all my professional progeny over there. They are my legacy. I'm seeing my legacy before my eyes are closed forever. So beyond this, all of them are doing their own things. Depending on the culture where they were trained, culture is important. They are doing their own things. One part is success. It is not somebody says, I'm successful, I've got hospitals, or come for this. I'm very happy for them because that is something which they want and it is a legitimate part of practice. I'm very happy for them. But they are not my clones and I don't program them. No guru programs his shishyas. I have given you this now to use it for what you think right or you think wrong, if there is right or wrong in the world. He is going to decide your performance. So guru is not responsible. Guru is for imparting knowledge and then not getting in the shishyas. Two, how the guru is responsible? The guru is absolved of all responsibility the day the shishya leaves the tutelage. Now, what is the shishya's responsibility? Most heartache for a guru comes from watching their shishya's behavior in their life. Nothing in the intimate bonding, the way they are conducting themselves. But till the shishya comes, no guru worth the name will interfere with the shishya's life because everyone has their own runanubandh, their own karma. So that, and if he comes back, certainly, you told him, the guru told him, if you ever need me in that kind of difficulty, come back. So the responsibility of the shishya's own. He is piling up his own karma or negating his own karma. The guru is, the bond is intimate. The bond is one of veneration. The bond is one of mutual respect. But the bond is intimate yet nirlay. It does not stick. Neither is responsible for that. Go back to the Mahabharata, based on which you gave an example of the Mahabharata. What happened in the war? They all learned the same things from the same guru. Guru, out of what was considered right, correct, appropriate, and politic at the time, took sides. Guru went and fought for one side. And yet, did truth not triumph? Where do we get our national motto from, Satyameva Jayate? So, same shishyas, same guru, guru in battle, guru goodbye in battle, everything. Who triumphs ultimately? The one who uses the knowledge for the good. Now, this again becomes more of a religious, metaphysical, philosophical. But here, in our immediate context, we say, go out there. I'm happy you learned from me. You do well in the world. You do good to people. Help suffering humanity. All that stuff you wanted to do the day you walked into first MBBS. Please go and do it now. Follow the rules of man in the world. But never forget that the final accounting is going to be done. Chitragupta is watching. So have I answered that question? Neither is responsible for the other's actions. No. Because the alipt, because of the nirlep, because although the relationship was never a transactional one, now view it objectively. It was a transactional. There was a giver, there was a taker, there was facilitation, except we venerate tradition, we venerate our elders, we venerate learned people who are our gurus, who are our teachers. In that veneration, transaction is thrown to the winds. That is what makes for personal growth. And I said, don't pick up a hobby because everybody else is doing a hobby. Do what you like, make that your hobby, go crazy once in a while. You still get into that kind of problem? Mehuna. So it's like that. It's like that.
Right.
Responsibility can only be individual. Only individual.
Right. So, just the last question. It's more of a concept than a question. There's a
More of
concept.
a
There's more of a concept than a question. There's a concept of swaguru, meaning I am my own guru, because I also learn from myself. So how do we talk in those terms? What is your take on this concept?
Swaguru, for the most part, is a term which people arrogate to themselves because they have reached supreme height of arrogance. See, Swaguru means Gu is darkness, Ru is light, transition from Gu to Ru is Guru. Swaguru, if you are able to illuminate your own path, it's perfectly all right. Once you have the knowledge, once you have the enlightenment, once you have the transformation, once you are an altered being, in the sense you're not an animal, you are a human being, there is only one thing to do: to let other people know what is possible for you is possible for them. So I have no difficulty with Swagurus. I yet have to meet 62 years and counting an honest to goodness Swaguru. I yet have to meet one. Because if one is Swaguru, one doesn't have to make a song and dance about it. So, how many people will listen to you if you invite them to listen? Will determine the extent of that person. So, Guru for oneself, that's Swaguru. In that concept, no difficulty. As a concept for that person to attain, no, self-taught, denied in a very real way, deprived of tutelage. They were self-taught, they taught themselves to the best they could. They were not formally, I'll use the comment, tutored. So Swagurus are, let's change the language. So many self-made men. I mean, Dhirubhai Ambani. Swaguru. Want to call him Swaguru? Swaguru. Dadachap Adani? Swaguru. Harshad Mehta? Swaguru. All of them reached the height of arrogance. Mr. Adani is the latest. But even so, arrogance is not a bad term. When I use arrogance, it just means that they're blind to everything around them. And the moment the Swaguru becomes arrogant, blind to everything around him, he ceases to grow. Most importantly, he loses insight. And he who loses insight might as well not be alive. Because without insight, one cannot relate to the real world. So, as a concept, the concept exists. In my personal experience, in my life, I have not met an honest to goodness Guru till date. There is always tomorrow, there is always later tonight. But it is not the most illuminating concepts. Unless you are the Swaguru like George Bernard Shaw wrote about, or was it somebody else? Mark Twain perhaps. My candle burns at both its ends. My candle burns at both its ends. It will not last the night. But oh my foes and oh my friends, it gives a lovely light. Lovely light is Dhirubhai. Lovely light is Adani. Lovely light, these are so engrossed in themselves. Nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. Absolutely nothing wrong. And at the same time, these are not examples of soul. This is the nearest one could get to the concept. I reiterate second time. I have not met an honest to goodness Guru. So it's a concept which is on the book, so to speak. No.
Right, sir. So I think
You have given this matter some thought. I would like to hear your
no. I think for me it is very, very simple. There is a
yes.
lot of information, even the interpretation of things that I get from my guru come through a filter that I hold. And the cleaner the filter, the better I am in gaining that knowledge and also teaching myself. So
Effective.
simple.
Effective.
Yes.
Do not use the term better. Effective.
Yes.
Being effective is everything.
Right.
Efficiency is everything.
Right.
We are orthopedic surgeons. We understand. Yes.
So, like you gave an example, the teacher teaches a lot of pupils, but not all of them reach that level of potential that the guru wanted them to.
No, that they could have. Guru wants nothing. Guru
Yeah.
wants that they could have otherwise reached.
Right.
Because they became lazy in one or the other.
Something like that.
Yes.
Right, sir. So we have completed an hour and we have listened to you in I think it is like a multi-dimensional talk. There's so many dimensions to the same to the concept of guru, to the concept of pupil, the relationship between them, and how it manifests itself all over the world and how it is helping us progress. I mean, without this relationship, the progress that the intellect and the human community has done will not have been possible. That's I think that's the foundational relationship for us. Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Uh, I'll take 2 minutes
Yes, sir.
to elaborate on the concept of Swaguru. Now,
Yes.
conceptually, it exists. It is for the self-contained individual. See, there was a psychologist by the name of Abraham Maslow. There's a popular sort of chap in the 60s in the United States. So he called the term the self-actualized man. Self-actualized man. So prerana comes from within. Energy is one's own. Put it all together. Your experience teaches. You start sharing. That is the self-actualized man. When he is happening, he's the self-actualizing man. Now, you will be familiar with the chant Aham Brahmosmi, Aham Brahmasmi. So, if I chant that, I just said that, whatever vibrations are set up in the Brahman, Aham Brahmasmi, I am God. So, whether Swaguru is the height of arrogance or chanting Aham Brahmasmi, which is acceptable, whether that is the height of arrogance. Yet, that is a chant which is recommended for people who want to go into the Himalayas and do penance. Just keep on saying Aham Brahmasmi till it becomes real for you and you attain Godhood, you become one with God. So, Swaguru is the cashless version of Aham Brahmasmi. That is the nearest I can bring you to a Shastriya reference and an accepted psychologist reference. The self-actualizing man, Aham Brahmasmi, and the arrogance of the Swaguru.
I think if he is a Swaguru, he won't have an arrogance. And you won't find him because he won't show.
Yes.
So it's a definition within itself.
Like I said, it's a concept on the statute books. We
Yeah.
don't take it out very often.
That's right, sir. Maybe in Mahabharata, Krishna can be called that.
Krishna is the Lord. Krishna is the avatar of Vishnu. He is already all-knowing. So Krishna served as Parth's guru at that time. Like I said, Krishna is if Purushottam Maryada Shri Ram is the ideal man, it is not attainable. But the Lord Shri Krishna, how to be appropriate in life, how to be successful in life, you want to learn that? Bhakti Marg is the way. I mean, away from Guru and this. So he appeared in his form as the Sathi of Arjun, and Arjun looked to him for help. He screamed for help. So what did the Lord do? He gave of himself. So when you ask whether Shri Krishna was a Swaguru, Shri Krishna was the Lord. He is the Lord. We don't see him. कौन कहता है भगवान आते नहीं? को मीरा के जैसे बुलाते नहीं इसलिए आते हैं. So see, these are the things. Huh?
Right, sir. So I think it completes the session, the last line of it. We also covered the Supreme in a guru teacher concept, how he is related to all this. So I think we can close. I'll thank you very much for sharing your experience and your concept with us, sir. And it was truly a learning experience for me and a lot of people who are listening and who will listen in future. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Stay blessed forever. Blessings are Sanatan.